I can hear it.
Here we are, once again. Welcome to the Sisterhood with Sweat. I am so glad you guys are here with us this afternoon because I have a special treat. We have Chef Susan Irby. She is a famous chef in the house with us today. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her. Susan Irby, CFH, CFNS, author, public speaker, award-winning network television host, and radio personality. She believes living a healthy lifestyle requires courage, focus, persistence, and motivation. I wholeheartedly agree with her. And that your diet and your lifestyle goals matter. She is certified in food healing and fitness nutrition. Susan is one of the nation's foremost experts in plant-based nutrition and food as healing, an accomplished author, public speaker, and media personality. Susan holds a particular expertise in the areas of individualized nutrition programs and recipe development. That is close to my heart. And her 17 plus years in the culinary industry, the past 14 in healing foods, spiritual wellness, and active lifestyles have earned Susan recognition as the leading healing, plant-based, and specialized nutrition lifestyle expert, empowering others to better understand their personal health needs and empower them to enjoy lasting lifestyle changes through her trademark three-prong approach to mindful healing, health, and an active lifestyle. She has written over 9 books, and she believes that food is the ultimate nourishment and healing for the body. Remember, what you eat and drink matters. I just had to say that again because I think it's so key. And so I just want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you for having me. Sisterhood of Sweat. Who doesn't love that?
That's right. And we're about the same message, and empowerment, building confidence through building health and helping others.
For sure. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, that they didn't feel better and more empowered after a really good sweat.
Right. It's very cleansing and purifying to the soul. Yes.
Yeah, to the soul, to the mind, to the body.
Spirit,
it's cleansing in all ways. So thank you for having me today. I'm excited to share whatever you want to talk about. So we can talk about foods. We can talk about anything. Yeah. So
what type of workout do you do? What's your favorite?
I'm a runner. I love to run. However, I also really enjoy, I don't always have time to run. I'm not a fast runner. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not super fast. I'm not super slow. But even on the days that I don't have time to run, I do at least 30 to 40 minutes of 3 key areas. So I always do abs. I do 200 repetitions of some kind of different abs every single day. And then I do the Pilates hundreds, so I'll do 200 then plus the Pilates 100. And then I'll do some kind of leg workout. So I'll do 3 reps of 25 to 30, whatever you want to call it. I count 25 and I'll do leg extensions or 50 to 100 squats, depending. So I do those each day. And then I do, I'll do 30 push-ups times 3. So I'll do at least 90 push-ups, and just your basic, classic, old-fashioned push-ups. So I do that at least, if I can't get in a good run or like a full workout, I do those 3 exercises every single day.
So Susan is in great shape. And, you know, you don't have to really do anything super fancy. And actually, I think I got in better shape outside of the gym. Did I just say that? So I would just say it's more about your focus and your consistency, and that you're challenging yourself daily to achieve your goals.
I totally agree with you. And for many years, I had a gym membership to an amazing, incredible gym here in Orange County, California. And then I had some different life changes and wasn't able to go to that gym anymore. And at first, I was really nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to get out of shape. I don't have the discipline of the times of my classes anymore. And it was really interesting to me because, you know, I've been in this industry a long time, and I've had a health focus for many, many years. I mean, pretty much my whole life. And
yeah, me too.
And so for me, even now, I feel I'm in as good a shape, if not even better shape, than I was when I was attending all the different classes. And it's what I do every day. I do at least those abs I mentioned, the squats, or some kind of, you know, leg toning exercise, and then the push-ups, and then in between, you know, those days I try to run 2 to 3 times a week, more if I can. But some weeks, we know some weeks we're more busy than others. But what's been great, even for myself, is that I can schedule it as I do a doctor's appointment, or I do wake up and do it first thing in the morning and get it done and out of the way. And I find that I'm in as good, if not better shape as when I was killing myself at some of those classes. I mean, I miss the camaraderie of the classes. You feel empowered from the people around you and the instructors, but if you can't go,
right, that's hard to replace.
Yeah, that's hard to replace that. But if you don't have that, it doesn't mean that you're going to be out of shape. So you can be in shape. You just have to put the effort in, and make a commitment to yourself to do it, and I don't do it because, of course I want to have a toned body and toned arms, especially if it's red carpet ready season or bikini season or whatever it is. It's always bikini season. It's always a red carpet in Hollywood or in California somewhere. So yeah, I want my arms to be toned, but more so it's about physically and emotionally, mentally, how exercise and eating properly makes me feel. I feel better. I have a more positive outlook on life when I'm putting in the effort, both in the diet and in the exercise. So it makes a big difference. And I really want to encourage everyone that if you're not currently, you're not currently exercising regularly, and you need to step it up. Like a little 10-minute lollygag around the block that's not exercise. Okay, so you need some kind of focused, with intention workout.
Intention is totally the key.
And it can be something as simple as your basic push-ups and ab crunches, but you just need to keep challenging yourself, to be better, be stronger, and it'll help you on your outlook in life and mentally, emotionally, and also we don't want to forget the spiritual wellness. You start your every day with some kind of mindful spiritual wellness, whatever your faith is. Start your day with some sort of powerful spiritual motivation and meditation as well, so that you're grounded, you're centered, you're balanced, because the day is going to throw things at you. You never know what's going to be coming at you each and every day, and you need to be spiritually ready for that as well.
Yes. And when you set intention, that is so important to have clarity and have purpose behind what you're doing. Otherwise, it's too much of a gray to reach the goals if you don't set them. And I know I was in my boot camp the other day, and I asked the ladies, what mode are you in? And they're like looking at me like I grew horns in my head. Like, what mode am I in? What do you mean, what mode am I in? What mode are you in? And they looked at me again, and I'm like, are you in beast mode? I'm like, I know I'm in competition mode. And then I asked again, what mode are you in? And then one girl said, I'm in pre-baby body mode. And then somebody, so they started chiming in. They finally understood what I was saying. And it's what mode are you in? Set your intention. What is it you're trying to achieve from what you're doing? At least be clear. If it's just to have a break and have a walk and think about your thoughts, then be clear about that, because you're going to get the intention that you set. So when you work out, it's really key to set that intention. And we've been talking a lot about fitness, but if you do not watch the foods you put in your mouth, you are not going to achieve the ultimate results, because your diet, I think it's 85% of your results. What do you think, Susan?
I think it's actually more than that. I mean, diet
is huge.
I used to look at exercise, as a way of, I've got to exercise today because I ate this and this. It's not possible to exercise away a poor diet. And I really encourage people to look at what they eat and drink every day, not just from am I going to gain weight or not, but from maybe it's coming with I'm becoming more mature in my years, meaning I'm 52 now. And so, when you turn 50, something changes as far as, you really start to recognize, hey, it's a blessing that I wake up every day healthy, and I can empower younger people, in their 20s, 30s, and even in their 40s to recognize that, your heart, what you put in your body affects how your heart functions. It affects how your kidneys function. Don't take it for granted that you can just get up and go to the restroom and brush your teeth and all of these movements that I'm doing right now that are so simple. If you don't have a healthy body, you're going to be like, wow, I need to take care of my body, because, we take for granted the fact that we can just easily pick up a toothbrush and brush our teeth, or it takes a lot of effort actually to blow dry your hair. And so the food that we eat is key to not only how we look on the outside, but how our body functions on the inside. So don't you want to put the best fuel possible into your body? I mean, think about that. I mean, don't you want your body to be as nourished as possible so that it can glow and be healthy, and you can have the energy to walk and take the stairs and, and whatever it is you like to do, play basketball.
Climb a mountain.
Yeah, climb a mountain, play basketball, play tennis with your son or your daughter. I mean, it's very important. So I say diet is actually probably 90%.
Well, it's what you're going to do more often. You're definitely going to eat more than you ever have time to exercise. And like you said, it's self-care. You're taking care of you so that when you are 50, you said 51?
I'm 52.
52. And I'm 55. So when you get to be, older than 40, more mature. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to say older. It's so key to take care of yourself so that you can enjoy and have a quality of life and, not be spending huge amounts on the doctor, because you're going to spend, I know you might be like bulking at that organic avocado or, organic berries and be like, twice the price. You know what? It's totally worth it, because if you are going to pay for that when you get
You
sick,
pay now or you pay later.
yeah, you pay, like she said, pay now or pay later.
You pay at the grocery store or you pay at the doctor.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I'd like to bring that up a little bit, actually, because my nephew, he was born with only 3 chambers in his heart. And so he's had many heart surgeries. He's now 26. And he said, but over the years, he's had many, many heart surgeries. And so as a family, we've come to talk to a lot of different doctors. And one of his most recent surgeries, the nurses in the ICU were talking about how they don't, in the medical training, they don't have a lot of training and education on nutrition. And then my mother-in-law, she passed away last year of ovarian cancer, but she would go in for different procedures and they were just totally giving her misinformation, or the menus on the hospitals and things like that, just were not consistent with the foods that they should be eating for the types of health conditions that they, and surgeries that they were going through. And it was shocking to me that the doctors and nurses, they really don't know, the best nutritional advice to give someone, whether,
they don't study it for more than a few months at most.
They don't. I think they were saying that like they get like
Probably
20
less.
hours of nutrition education, but nutrition is so important. I mean, if you just had heart surgery, you don't want to eat cheese and red meat. You want to eat avocados and coconut and something that's going to be soothing and enhancing to the heart. So, it's preventative. If we could empower, people in their 20s and 30s to really start to become more conscientious about the foods that they're eating and the impact it has on their body, then they won't probably have as many health conditions, later in life. So we just want to feel really blessed. And I'd like to talk some about the foods. I grew up in the South. And so in the South, there's a lot of fried foods and
a lot of butter,
a lot of fried foods, and just the different oils and things like that they cook with, and or even overcooking the foods.
So it kills the good vitamins.
You just boil the beans to death, the green beans to death, and and then they throw in ham hocks and all of that, and it may taste good, but you lose so many nutrients when you overcook the foods, and you just really throw in a ham hock that's just not going to be the best fats for you to eat. So it was really a shift when I wrote my first book, Cooking with Susan, Southern Family Favorites. I have all of them, and they're my favorite recipes from growing up in the South. But once I did a book tour, and people were asking me, well, but you look like you're in great shape. What are you eating? That's when I started sharing, I focus on salmon and avocado, and this was back before quinoa was really popular. But quinoa is one of my favorite. It's a seed. It's not a grain, but it's a seed that cooks like a grain. And I wrote a whole book on quinoa as well. But I
just had some for lunch.
Oh yeah, so it's delicious. So food directly influences our lives and our skin and our hair. A lot of people are really
our hormones,
our moods, and a lot of people are really resistant to change. They have a hard time changing. So I encourage you to just make small changes consistently. So replacing, instead of cooking with olive oil, let's try cooking with grapeseed oil, let's say. It has a milder flavor, but it has it can tolerate higher temperatures better than olive oil. So when you cook with that, you retain more of the health properties instead of doing the fried foods. Let's try with the slow roasting the foods and not layering them with cheeses. And a lot of my Facebook friends who still live in the South, they're like, well, it just doesn't taste as good. But believe me, your palate will change, and you'll actually come to appreciate the flavors of fresh foods more when you're not deep frying them and layering them with cheese.
They're eating, basically, I always tell all my clients that they have to separate themselves from the processed foods because it's overpowering to your taste buds. So once you're not eating things that are like, I don't know, that have MSG, or they're laden with all this stuff, like maybe, I don't know,
Preservatives, yeah.
You know, chips for one. I don't want to say any brand names, but there's, you know, if you have to eat more than one, you know, it's probably got MSG in it because it causes cravings. So, so literally separate yourself from all this overly processed food, because you've got over 200 taste buds in your mouth. You can train them, you can retrain them. So you have to at least give yourself a couple weeks. And when you're hungry, I'm telling you, the good nutritional food, you're going to be able to taste it. It's going to taste good to you. You'll be shocked if you just kind of wean yourself off for a couple weeks of all the heavy processed foods.
Well, it's a matter of, you know, when you're shopping, you know, make your grocery list and just replacing those snacks. So replacing chips with raw nuts. It's, you know, for someone who is they're addicted to chips, or they just have that habit, that's going to be hard for them to break, and it's going to be hard for them to comprehend. But those types of foods, they're laden with chemicals, and you mentioned MSG, but they're laden with all kinds of different chemicals and preservatives. They're also laden with salt
And
most
sugar.
of the time. They're very heavy in salt and sugar, and salt
And fat.
dehydrates the body, and it causes cravings. Sugar, there's a whole, you know, Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum wrote a whole book called Sugar, you know, the Sugar Addiction. And it's no secret. There's study after study after study that proves that sugar is addicting. And so the more sugar that you consume, the more sugar that you're going to want to consume. So how do you break that chain? You change the types of carbohydrates that you're eating. I get so tired of people saying that carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. There are different types of carbs that are better for you. Broccoli has carbs. Sweet potato is a carb. So it's not carbs that are bad. It's bell pepper. That's
the
a carb.
type of carbs that you're having.
It's the type of carb. And there are certain types of carbs that are going to cause more sugar cravings than other types of carbs because of the way that our body metabolizes them and the different nutrients they have. So choose nutrient dense foods that are going to, so let's talk about that. I have my diet plan, the Bikini Chef diet. And in that, I talk about how your BFFs, your best friends forever, are your PFFs. And the PFFs are protein, fiber, and fat. And so I even break that down to lean proteins, for example. So skinless, boneless, chicken breast. Even you can even have dark meat chicken. You know, it's not that you don't, you know, you can't have it. Dark meat chicken will actually have a little bit more iron in it, but take the skin off, you know. So lean proteins, fish, salmon, one of my favorite fish in the world, salmon. Halibut is good. I love shrimp. I do. They are higher in cholesterol. So you want to watch your intake of shrimp. They're higher in sodium, so you don't need to add salt to them because they're naturally salty. But, you know, shrimp, it's a good alternative. And don't fry them. You know, you can saute them with a little grapeseed oil and lemon, throw in some fresh dill. It's incredible. It's delicious. But lean proteins, so lean meats and fish, beef, you know, make sure it's the leaner cuts. So I'm not a fan of ribeye. I know I'm probably the only one in the world who doesn't like prime rib. I'm a filet mignon girl, or actually, I love bison. So I love
I
to make
love bison too.
burgers. I have a wonderful recipe on my website, thebikinishef.com, for bison burgers. I have all kinds of really delicious recipes there, absolutely free for you to try. But then, so that's the P. Then fiber, you want high fiber foods. Are potato chips a high fiber food? No. What are high fiber foods? Red bell pepper.
Oh, come on.
No. Fresh red bell pepper, celery. You don't have to eat celery sticks all day to to be healthy.
I love bell peppers with like a hummus, or
Yes, like a chickpea hummus. Celery is fabulous. Did you know that eating celery, like even 7 stalks a day of celery, helps lower blood pressure? And they're high in water content. So if you're not good about drinking your water, you can eat your water through cucumbers and items like celery. Tomatoes are very high in water content. They're also very high in antioxidants, and they're very filling because they're high in fiber. So all of these foods are going to help you feel full. They're going to add to your water that you need to be your daily intake of water. And they're fresh, wholesome foods. They're going to have some kind of positive benefit to the way your body functions, and also give you better looking skin. So those are your proteins, your fiber, and then your healthy fats. So your PFFs, your healthy fats. So fried mozzarella sticks, not a healthy fat. Avocado, healthy fat. Healthy fats come in the form of raw almonds, raw cashews.
Not just peanut butter?
No peanut butter. No peanut butter. Peanuts are nuts that grow in the ground, and so they naturally retain an aflatoxic mold. And you can't boil it out of the peanut. You can't cook it out, roast it out. It stays in the nut, and then you're eating that. So go for almonds, cashews, walnuts. Those are my favorites.
What about pecans?
Pecans are okay. Yeah, pecans are okay. They grow on trees. I'm from the South. We had pecan trees in our yard when I was a kid. We had walnut trees. So we would go out and try to take a hammer and crack them open. And we had, yeah, it was really fun. There's a recipe in my Cooking with Susan cookbook for pecan pie. And
nice. What do you use to sweeten it with?
Well, that's the classic Southern recipe. So that's going to be your K-Rose syrup, which is not bikini. It's not healthy. So I don't recommend pecan pie as far as the traditional way. But now you could mix pecans with Manuka honey and a hint of cinnamon or something like that, and you can have your healthier version of pecan pie. But want to stick to the nuts. So your healthy fats, salmon has, and a lot of fish actually has tremendous omega-3 fatty acids. So you want to, those are great for your heart and skin and hair. They lubricate the valves in our body, so that's really good to eat those kinds of fats. So healthy fats, so your PFFs, protein, fiber, fat, and those, when you focus on and emphasize those foods in your diet, you're going to have fewer cravings. And when you do get cravings, instead of grabbing for the chips, grab for those raw almonds. Eat about 10 or 12 of them, give it 5 minutes, drink a glass of water, and your cravings will be curbed. If you're still hungry, if it's not enough for you, then spread some avocado on a little bit of lightly toasted sprouted bread. Sprinkle some black sesame seeds on there because they help retain the pigment in your hair, and they're also a good source of calcium. And that's a wonderful, wonderful, healthy snack that's going to do your body good, and it's also going to curb the cravings for you.
Well, also, you can't manufacture your omega-3s. You have to take them in and ingest them.
True.
And good fat helps to sate, that cravings that you're getting from the brain telling you need something, you want something, and it keeps your blood sugar from dropping, which is a lot of why you crave things. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So having the good fats is equally important to also have the good carbs. So I totally agree with you on your PFFs.
I love the PFFs. They're your best friends. They are. They're your best friends.
Your PFFs or your BFFs?
Yes, they are.
Oh my gosh. Well, how did you get the name The Bikini Chef?
Well, because I cook in a bikini.
Of course. That's what I was envisioning.
Well, it's the most commonly asked question. Do you cook in a bikini? And the answer is yes, I do. And the answer is I did. My whole family did and still does when we're at the lake together. So I grew up in the South. My family has a beautiful lake house in Alabama. And now it's a big house. My dad calls it the house that Lockheed built because he worked for Lockheed for 38.6 years, and so when he was retiring, when we were growing up, we had a 2-room cabin, and it was really like literally 2 bedrooms, a porch, a little bit of a living area, and a small kitchen, and the bedrooms didn't even have closets in them, so you just roll your suitcase in and and everybody would sleep everywhere. And it was fun. It was a blast. But we would water ski all day long until dark. And we would end up cooking in our bikinis because we didn't care if, we were dressed up or not. We would just go in the kitchen straight off the lake and make amazing dinners and play cards after. It was just fabulous times. And so I would share stories again from my first cookbook, Cooking with Susan, Southern Family Favorites, and I have little stories in there about Alabama.
Oh, that's nice. I love it when recipes have stories behind them.
Yes, and so I would talk about that, and it was like bikini cooking because we were all cooking in our bikinis, and so people just started calling me the Bikini Chef, and the name stuck. And it suits me because the recipes that I do help you look your best and feel your best. And so that's how the Bikini Chef came to be. So do I cook in a bikini? Yes, I cook in a bikini.
Well, I have bikini boot camp, and I do not lead bikini boot camp in a bikini. That would not be good.
No, but you could. You could, I'm sure.
But I will say it's my superficial goal to still be looking good in a bikini at 60 because I'm going to totally do sexy at 60.
I gotta tell you, I went, we all have seasons in our lives. And so I went through a season in my life about 10 or 12 years ago. And I gained as much as 30 pounds. And I didn't feel very bikini. I didn't look as bikini as I wanted to look. And I, it was a season of life. We all go through those. So I have to say that at 52, I'm probably in my best bikini shape since I was maybe in my teens, early 20s. Then in my 30s, I was very bikini. But then, college, I gained the freshman 10 and,
Yeah, I know what you mean about seasons. I think that's a
yeah.
good way to look at it.
Yeah, so there are seasons of life, but at 52, I feel I can rock a bikini now probably better than I did even in my early 20s because I work out more now than I did then. So I have the
And you
body
eat better.
toning. I have the body toning,
Yeah.
and then my diet is more consistent with my PFS, the leaner proteins, the healthier fats, the high fiber foods. So, yeah, I'm very proud to say that I
So
can.
one major issue that we have is when we hit a certain age, and since we are around the same, I'm just going to go for it. Basically, our hormones, women's, they struggled when they maybe were in puberty, then they struggled when they were in pregnancy, then mid-age, perimenopause, and now menopause is another game changer. What are some ways they can keep that from affecting the way they're feeling about themselves, from, keep themselves from gaining weight and feeling thick around the middle?
Well, I gotta tell you, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the food that we eat directly correlates to how our brain functions, and our mood. And I think it's one of the most challenging aspects is when we're experiencing menopause and these body changes and life changes. I think it becomes even more challenging to reach for the foods that we know are the healthiest for us because our body is saying, oh, I'm depressed, I'm moody, I don't feel like being cheerful today, I'm breaking out into a huge sweat right now, what is happening to me? And we want those comfort foods, that the foods that we think are comfort foods, like, biscuits and gravy or mashed
Mashed
potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes and all that. But I'm here to, as someone who's been through this and who knows how it impacts you, really, really, I just want you to just dig down deep and, put the lock on the, or just don't buy it at the store, don't bring it home because you're going to eat what's in your house. So grab for those, what we keep talking about, the avocado, the coconut, the almonds, the cashews, the walnuts. We can talk about, I do in my Bikini Chef diet, and in a couple of recipes on my website, I have my beet cleanse drink. In my Bikini Chef diet plan, I have all these cleanse drinks that I do. I call them cleanse drinks. Honestly, they're fabulous snacks, and they're smoothies.
But basically, it's helping you to detoxify too at the same time, right?
Yeah, but they're blended drinks. And so I bring this up because in my blended drinks, I'll put in cordyceps mushrooms, the black sesame seeds. For women, I caution you against maca root powder.
I have some right now. I'm drinking.
Yeah, I have some. I do. It's a bit estrogenic, so I caution women to not overdo it on maca root. Maca it does help alleviate depression. It does help balance mood. It does help with anxiety and things of that nature. But if you've had breast cancer, or you're going through menopause, or it just stimulates a lot of our female hormones. So I just caution you to use it in smaller amounts. So maybe a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, maybe every other day, not every day. But cordyceps are these, they look like dehydrated worms, and
It's
they
like
don't.
mushrooms.
Yeah, they taste like dirt. So I
Yeah.
blend them. Yeah, so I blend them up into my smoothie drink. So I'll take beets and Granny Smith apple and lemon and lime and fresh mint leaves. Fresh mint is great for your respiratory system, also great for mood. The recipes at thebikinishef.com. So just go there and
Do
you
you
blend all that
ever use chaga in any of your stuff? Would you put any of, or just
chaga.
cordyceps?
I use cordyceps. I haven't used chaga yet. Not opposed to it per se. I like goji berries. I like to put goji berries in my things. They're highly vitamin C, and vitamin C is our friend. So the more vitamin C you're taking internally, the better you're going to feel, the better your skin's going to look. I mean, they're vitamin C based. Cleansers and moisturizers that you can use on your skin, so you can absorb it here, you can absorb it here. It's really, vitamin C is great for you, but in its purer forms. So a lot of people want the easy way out. I'd like to talk about supplements for a moment. A lot of people want to take the easy way out. They want to pop the pill, give me a capsule.
Miracle cure.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. Okay, it just does not work that way. Some people, you may need that extra little boost of some kind of supplement, but don't think that you can just take capsules and expect that your body it just is not going to digest it the same way your body needs food. It needs real food. So,
Well, if you nourish it and you treat it right, give it plenty of sleep, plenty of water, plenty of healthy foods, it's going to respond in a good way.
yes, it is. Your body is definitely going to respond in a very positive way. It's going to love you back. So if you love your body, it will love you back. And
I love that.
I'm not total anti-supplement, but if you're getting your vitamins and nutrients from capsules every day, it's just, you're not going to have the same benefit. Your body is not going to retain the nutrients the same way it will as when you get them through real foods. Some of my favorite vegetables, I love broccoli. I love asparagus. Asparagus is one of the most nutrient dense, most phytochemically dense vegetables and foods that you can eat. So I encourage you to add asparagus to your diet if you don't have it already. Quickly blanch them in boiling salted water. That's what that means. So you bring water to a boil, put a pinch of salt in there, throw the asparagus in, leave them in just for maybe 30 seconds, then take them out, put them in an ice bath, or if you don't have an ice bath, just leave them in for maybe 20 seconds and take them out. Eat them just like that. They're nice and crisp and al dente, and please don't slather them with hollandaise sauce or cheese. Drizzle them with a really good olive oil or balsamic or a lemon infused olive oil. It's going to be.
I have broiled them with a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette. That's really good.
Yes, broiling them is good. Easiest way to do it.
Very little.
Yeah, put a little lemon pepper on them. Put them in a Pyrex dish with a little bit of lemon pepper. Drizzle them with some grapeseed oil. Put them in a 400-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Perfection. Really delicious. Yeah, very good. Serve that with some broiled salmon. You got a wonderful meal there. If you need some carbs, if you've had an intense workout, then use some quinoa. I have some incredible recipes for quinoa on my website and in my diet plans. But one of my favorite ways to enjoy quinoa is adding in yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, cilantro, a little bit of red onion or white onion or even green onion. Toss that all together. You don't need a dressing. Everything doesn't have to be sauced and dressed.
Right.
You'll be saucy and dressed and looking fabulous in your clothes if you avoid the sauces and the dressings in your food.
Plus, if you can just get used to the natural taste of food, and you start fueling yourself with healthy food, you are not going to need all that dressing. Very little. You're going to need very little of that because you're going to be so in touch with the good healthy foods you're making.
Right. Once you start eating fresh foods, you won't be able to go back to the other foods. You'll be like, oh, what
I told my client that. I told her that. I told her she wasn't going to like the things anymore. And she said she was skeptically thinking to herself, yeah, right. Like, I'm not going to like pumpkin spice latte anymore. So she went to Starbucks and ordered her pumpkin spice latte, even though she had been doing really good eating. She said she could not drink it. It was so sweet.
It was so sweet. Yeah.
It was so sweet. And she had not been eating anything that was, with sugar at all. So it does make a difference. And she said she couldn't believe it. So it really does.
Difference. Yeah. It makes all the difference. It doesn't make a huge difference. It makes all the difference. And while we're on that subject, let's talk about dairy. Dairy is not your friend, especially women. If you're going through menopause and different life changes, dairy is not your friend. It interferes with digestion. It can cause mucus in the body, moisture in the body, which is not good. Anytime there's excess moisture, it allows for different disease and stuff to possibly take hold. So avoid dairy. If you're going to have something, like kefir yogurts. So these are fermented foods. So foods that have fermentation are going to have more pre and probiotics in them that are naturally going to be beneficial to your gut. And a healthy gut is a healthier you. So try to avoid dairy. And that goes for cheese. And people are like, oh, but I love cheese. I love cheese as much as anybody. I love, love, love cheese. But if you're going to have cheese, choose like a goat cheese. Okay, because goat milk is going to be more easily digestible than a cow's milk.
And equally, it would probably also go for some of your whey proteins because, if you're sensitive to dairy products, that's going to be right in there with that. And I know, basically cows are pregnant when they're being milked and they're being shot up with all these hormones. So if you're already having problems in that department, I would think you wouldn't want something that was so hormone laden.
Right. You don't want to layer your hormones with more, yes. And a lot of you'll see on packaging now, they'll say, oh, pastured or no hormone free, grass fed. You really do want to look for those types of products, but you still want to source, read the labels carefully, and just even if it says it's hormone-free cows or whatever, but still just try to stay away from dairy in general. I mean, the way I try to help people envision is to actually visualize the foods and what you're drinking as it's going into your body. So milk is going to create that like a thick layer all the way through your digestive system. So just think about, it's going to be more difficult for your body to break that down and digest it. So same is true.
That's why they get bloating a lot if they've had maybe a bowl of ice cream, or if you are, especially even like lactose, sensitive
Right.
to lactose. That's why you get that bloating, because your body is having a hard time breaking down the milk.
Exactly. So why do you need it? You don't need it.
Now, what are our sources of calcium? And it isn't necessarily us taking in calcium that makes it store in our bones anyway. We are the highest drinking milk country, and we have like the highest incidence of osteoporosis. So obviously we're not doing something we need to be doing to make our bones healthy. What would you recommend?
Well, people, it's kind of a myth that drinking milk is your best source of calcium. So and people are like, well, where am I going to get my calcium there are so many foods that have calcium. As I mentioned earlier, black sesame seeds are a wonderful source of calcium. Black sesame seeds, spinach, broccoli, all of these dark leafy greens, kale, those are all very, very rich sources of calcium, naturally rich sources of calcium. And also, I have it in my book. I forget offhand exactly how much calcium we need per day, but most people, when they're consuming lots of milk, if they're getting too much calcium and excess calcium, your body doesn't know what to do with that. So it actually can cause more problems with your bones if you're getting too much calcium. But let's also address that osteoporosis, one of the ways to help prevent osteoporosis is by doing regular weight-bearing exercise. So you could go to the doctor and they'll do a bone density test on you. And this is the one area where the exercise is vitally important to stimulating your bone health and bone production, is by working it out and using those weight-bearing exercises. That doesn't mean if you don't do any weight-bearing exercises now that you got to lift 50 pounds. Just get a 7-pound weight, ladies, or even a 5-pound weight. Please step it up beyond 2 or 3. But, get a 5 to 7-pound weight and just do arm curls. Arm curls, do 15 of them, do 12, do 10, please. But do them 3 times. So do 10 and then do push-ups or sit-ups or your leg extensions or squats, and then go back and do 10 more, and then do push-ups, leg extensions, abs, over the shoulders. So take your weights and do shoulder presses this way. But weight-bearing exercise is one of the best ways to avoid having osteoporosis.
Yes, your body comes up to that stress. It actually helps to increase your bone density. And I know this, I can attest to this too with jogging. My mother would walk, jog. And literally she had osteopenia, and she had taken the things they give you like Fosamax and different things. And she began running just a little bit, run, walk, and increased her bone density, also lifting, light weights by 5%,
Right.
in a short amount of time. So, that's pretty impressive, and it totally goes along with what they say about weight training, load bearing, so your exercise is key for so many reasons to keep you vibrant and young.
Yes, exercise. I think in the past, exercise was looked at, I have to exercise to lose weight. I have to exercise to counteract these calories that I ate over here. If you're following a PFF diet, you don't really need to worry about the calories. The exercise is to give your body toning, to give you strength, to give your muscles definition and shape, and also to improve the way that they function. Your muscles need strength to give you good posture and hold your body upright. Your the bones we were just talking about. So this is clearly where if you don't move it, you will lose it. And it's not about weight. It's about your heart functioning. So think of it this way. There's so many wonderful analogies with cars. So the food is like putting the gas in your car. If you have this beautiful car that you've paid a lot of money for, are you going to put horrible gas in it? No, you're going to put good gas in it. Your body is your car. And likewise,
I write about that in my book, The Sisterhood of Sweat.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I use that same kind of an analogy about the gas. And actually, as I was writing it, I was cracking up laughing when I was actually really thinking about it. But, it is so true that your car, you want to take good care of your car, and you want to take care of your engine. That's your body is what runs the whole show. So
but I also, when it comes to exercise, we can still use the same analogy of a car. So let's say that you have a car that's been sitting in a carport or a garage year after year after year. And let's say that that's your body that you have not exercised. You don't run, you don't swim, you don't go to the gym, you don't do that. You just sit around as a couch potato changing the remote control, Well, your body is that car sitting there in the garage year after year after year.
Right.
What happens to a car that doesn't move? The tires go flat.
Yeah, they rot.
They disintegrate. They rot. The car itself, it breaks down. The same is going to happen to your body. Your muscles will deteriorate. They won't be strong. Your brain won't function as well. Your heart will just be like, oh, well, I guess I'm functioning, but nobody really seems to care about me. So maybe I'll just give up.
If you don't use it, you lose it for sure, right?
Use it, you lose it. So,
oh my gosh.
Don't be a rusty old worn out car.
Well, there you go.
Hot rod.
That's right. Right. I mean, be the car you want to drive.
Right. Be the car you want to drive. Exactly.
Let's think about that. Let's visualize. That. I've been wanting a hot pink Barbie Jeep. No. What kind of car do you want to be?
Right. What kind of car do you want your body to be?
So I agree with you, but there you go. Your visualization, setting your intention, and treating yourself like that hot rod that you want to be.
Right. You want to be the youthful hot rod, not the broken down old clunker.
I'm with you. Yeah. Well, it has been so awesome talking to you today, and I have enjoyed it so much.
It's been a pleasure. I hope we've been able to motivate people, and I hope people really
and give them some clues about just what they can do and how to get started, and how can they reach you on social media, and can you tell them also where they can get your book?
My book, everything. You can always find me at The Bikini Chef. Don't forget the THE, The Bikini Chef, and it's thebikinishef.com. I have a Facebook page, The Bikini Chef. Also, my personal bikini on Facebook is Chef Susan Irby, IRBY. Instagram, Twitter is the Bikini Chef or the Susan Irby. I post more. The Bikini Chef is all about food and recipes and health, and mostly Susan Irby is just me, Susan, whatever I'm doing in my life. But
and you have wonderful recipes for fall. You have, the pecan pie. You have healthy things, healthy twists. And
I have a healthy version of an apple pie. I have all kinds of recipes, yummy salads and fish and chicken dishes on my website, thebikinishef.com. My book, The Bikini Chef Diet, is going to have my latest, most current work in there as far as the no soy, no dairy, all of the cleanse drinks are in there. I have a 30-day bikini body challenge that's fun. I have a 15-day bikini body blast. So I don't give you hardly any excuses to you. I've got fitness tips on my website and in my books, and I'm here for you. I also have a food healing nutrition program. So if you're experiencing specific health conditions, I do that in conjunction with Dr. Ward Bond, who is fabulous. He's the doctor side of the doctor. I'm not a doctor. I do the nutrition, but he's also an expert and has a PhD in nutrition. So we have you complete a 19-page questionnaire about your food habits, your exercise habits, any medical conditions that you've experienced in your life, and then we evaluate how you're feeling, and we talk to you about your goals, what you want to achieve. And our food healing nutrition program is available through thebikinishef.com, and it's a 6-week comprehensive program, and I'm on you every single day. I hold you accountable every day. Either email me, text me, call me, we Facebook, FaceTime. I hold you accountable every single day for what's going on. And also, not just to hold you accountable, but to see how you're feeling, where we need to adjust the program here and there. And it's a whole customized program for you, 6 weeks of food, exercise, dietary changes, supplements. If we do recommend any supplements, we have I created a morning wellness water and a whole spiritual meditative morning wellness routine. It's very comprehensive. So I encourage you to try that as well. So I don't leave a lot of room for people to choose less healthier lifestyles. So I'm here to help you.
I love that, because you want the best for others, and you're going to help them along the way, and excuses don't get you where you want to go. So what are 3 simple truths that you could leave with the audience? Just 3 simple truths for them that they could look back on and remember.
3 simple truths are really my 3-prong approach to life, which is always be grounded in your spiritual growth, your spiritual awareness and meditation. Spirituality is a huge part of my life and has helped me tremendously in all areas of my life. So spiritual, your nutritional wellness, it makes all the difference in your life. And then living an active lifestyle. So those 3 things. Set a goal each day to do something in one of those 3 areas, all of those areas, every single day. And I'm here for you. We have lovely people like Linda here for you. We want to help you be the best and feel the best that you can. And, if you just need a coaching session, or you just need a power talk or a little bit of direction, you go a long way. But we definitely want the best for you.
Also, if you guys like this episode, make sure to review us in iTunes so that we can get the message out there to more people and get more great guests like Susan. And equally, I will put a pumpkin spice latte recipe up for you guys when I post the episode from my book. So if you enjoy pumpkin spice lattes, you can still enjoy them with coconut milk.
Yummy.
There
Sign
you
me
go.
up.
So
Thank you for having me, Linda.
Thank you
It's
so
such a
much.
pleasure to be
This has
here.
been so great. Thank you so much. And we have ended this episode of the Sisterhood of Sweat on a good note. Pumpkin spice lattes,
I
everybody.
love it.